Hello. So I hope I've got this all working. Welcome to the second first time Freeze Team episode. As in yesterday, I made a few mistakes, so today is the new first time. Um, the objective today is we're going to try and talk about Tangram. If you go to tangrams.io, and let me throw that in the chat if I can. Let's see, I think I can send messages from. So I'm new to Twitch as well. So I'm using Streamlabs OBS. I spent a little bit of time with it trying to figure out how things work. And it seems to be working. I'm going to do a little trick here to make sure the audio. There we go. So I play the audio stream to make sure that I can hear myself. And now that that seems to work, I can just kill that altogether. All right, so Tangram and the link. That's there. I put it in there. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. It is a cryptocurrency, a little unique. I have some Nano for a while, and I like the DAG concept. And how I found Tangram was through a combination of searches. I was looking for something like Nano because the performance of a DAG is much better than the normal blockchain. I would tell you what the DAG is, but it's not going to help you any anyway. It's a different algorithm for how you. Plus, I couldn't explain it worth a hoot anyhow. But its performance is much better. You can high bandwidth. Basically, the two endpoints talk to each other as opposed to everybody centralizing. I shouldn't say centralizing. Everybody trying to put it into the same node. So you don't have to all get to the same block. Just let's basically say, I'm going to pay you 3. You're going to say you're going to take 3. Okay, done. We add it to our blockchains. A little bit more to it than that, of course. But nonetheless, I found it by looking for a DAGs and also for security. For example, Nano is a DAG. It's very nice. It's super fast, but there's no security. I shouldn't say security. There's no anonymity. A business, of course, is not going to put their entire list of all of their vendors on a public blockchain, because now you've lost all your competitive advantage. Like, well, how much did he pay for that thing? He worked out some deal and got them for 2 cents a piece, whereas we pay 3 cents a piece. So it's just going to be it's not going to happen. So, and we want, the point in a currency is to actually use the currency. So you need anonymous. So there are things out there. Monero probably is the leader, although maybe not the intellectual leader, because Zcash at least has some zero knowledge proofs, some science behind theirs. Not that Monero's not secure, because it surely seems to be. But nonetheless, we're looking for a secure blockchain, and we want it to be cheap. Bitcoin, when it was in its prime in 2017, when everybody's trading, the transaction fees, the gas on it was super high. And we're trying to replace Visa, for example, as the transaction of choice. Nobody's going to do that if it's priced too high. So Nano targets low prices as well, but Tangram is targeting 0, which I think, if your free market economics tells us that the market will always drive the price towards 0. Whether it gets there or not, I don't know, but I think it's a noble goal. So anyway, that's how I ended up on Tangrams. That and the fact that I was looking for something written in C#, because C# is my language of choice. And lo and behold, I found all my dreams come true in one cryptocurrency itself. But it's not live yet. It's new. Testnet just came live, so now we can actually send some things back and forth from the Testnet 0, which is a single node at this point. It could be reset at any given time because it's just for testing. But anyway, we have something that we can start to take a look at. So with that, let me get myself out of the way and let's show the screen here a little bit. All right, this bottom right-hand corner of the thing is supposed to be a chat box. So I'm curious if the chats ever show up in there. Testing. Does look like they do, so that's good. All right, that's good. All right, so here we go. Tangram, here's your web page, and let's scroll down a little bit. Access privacy, access cryptography, acts of code. Not sure what that means. Our mission is to create the most private distributed ledger technology, one that is probably impervious, provably, not probably, provably impervious to re-identification attacks. It will be fast, feeless, and infinitely scalable. No small feat in that, right? If you can do that. Open source and the community. Private, fungible, secure. Everything you expect. This is interesting too, that it uses Tor and the Onion network. So some like Zcash, for example, is got provably secure as far as anonymous transaction and data goes, that they were talking about up here. But Zcash just goes over your normal network, so you give away some information. There's metadata, and we should have heard more and more about metadata. So anyway, the fact that it runs over the regular network will give away some of your IP address. People could be snooping and trying to figure out this guy or that guy is working with Zcash. They could figure out what website you're going to, and put together who the payment went to indirectly through metadata. So if Tangram uses Tor in the Onion network, that's supposed to improve with the privacy of the whole system, which would be great. All right, so let's get started with this thing. I mean, if you got a wallet and you got some currency, then what do you do with currency? You send it back and forth. So balance, transactions, timestamps, send and receive. Yep, that's the things we want to do. We have a client, the thing's live. Oh, here we go. Let's go get it. It's on GitHub. And Cypher is the client. So with no further ado, let's fire up some Commander here. Let's see. So that's a running instance of Tangram, but I want to do this again. Change directory .ls, change directory to Tangram. Oh, it's in GitHub, not my personal one. All right. Change directory to Tangram. And we got Cypher and Cypher Fork. Cypher Fork is mine, and that's the one we're going to do again. So let's go take a look at my clone of that. Your repositories. Let's go look at Cypher here. So this will be my fork of the Tangrams one. So if I'm going to do a pull request, you work off of a fork so that you can send back the request to his branch. They're not going to let you modify their base branch, which is probably wise. All right, so first things first. What I'd like to see is we can do is have two running instances on the same machine so we can send things back and forth. I'm not sure that that's going to be possible, but we're going to demo what the directions are for how to install this. Installation instructions. Installation instructions for Windows. I'm running Windows, so that's what we're going to run. All right, so install all the prerequisites in the next section before continuing. Prerequisites are Git for Windows and .NET Core 2.2 SDK on Windows. I have both of those already installed. And then we're going to clone the repository. This says to clone the Cypher repository. We're going to actually clone my fork of it, but that should be fine. Fatal destination Cypher already exists. That's because I need to name it something else. Cypher 2. Yeah, that's a great name. All right, so the fork of that thing doesn't take very long at all. So now we're going to say ls change directory into Cypher 2. and follow the directions. There's no .NET build, .NET publish -c release. So we're going to, which will do a build, which will do a restore and a build, and then publish with the release configuration all at one go. So it could take a minute or two because I think the tooling on this, or the dependencies, are pretty heavy. Haven't actually looked at them all, but I know yesterday when I did this trial run, it downloaded quite a bit of stuff. So this might take a minute, which seems like forever, but isn't. Alright, so after we do that, it didn't take too long. ls, we need to go into the bin directory, and then we're going to go into the release directory, and .NET Core directory, and the publish directory. Alright, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Interesting. Alright, so now I should be able to run this bad boy. .NET cipher.dll. Alright. If done correctly, when starting up Cipher, you will see the following in the terminal. Let's do this. Dock that guy there. So we can do both at the same time. Starting Onion service. We'll see that in the terminal. Actually, I think we'll see a little bit more. So we might be able to take some notes, and I've got some show notes over here. Also, just regular VS Code open to take some notes. So that if we need to, we can do a pull request to fix the documentation. Except this looks like this is in the wiki. I'm in the wiki. So I can't do a PR directly, but I guess we could do a pull request to just move all this wiki stuff into its own repository and do it that way. But I digress. Alright, so let's see, does the thing run? That would be a good start. So it's pulling down some stuff from HashiCorp. As you see there, here. Alright, so I was hoping I could be able to run two of these separately, and I think maybe this is telling me that I can. This is testnet, so don't freak out that I'm giving you all my private keys because, you know, they ain't worth anything yet anyway. This is a demonstration. Alright, so this is what you should see. Something like this. Let's see, did you actually see starting Onion service? There it was, first thing out of the box. Application started, Control C, hosting environment is production. And notice the content root path, so I'm guessing we're storing something in this vault. So they do, the HashiCorp is the vault. I'm not exactly sure what vault means in this case. Obviously I'm going to store something in the vault that should be secure. And I guess these keys here are HashiCorp vault keys. Alright, nonetheless, I'm going to open up KeePass over here on my other screen and add another entry for Tangram wallet. Tangram wallet 2. And I'm going to put this information in there. So just highlight and paste. That will give me the keys. In that, so that's good. Also going to paste them into the show notes because it'll be a little easier to copy and paste out where I need to. Alright, so that seemed to work fine. Now let's see what else it tells us to do. Creating vault service repository, create a dynamic token, creating templated wallet policy. Of course, the first user is going to have no idea what any of this stuff is talking about. Revoking root token. whatever. Vault is currently sealed. Type vault unseal. So he's telling me to do something. Please type vault unseal to begin unsealing the vault. Now, interestingly enough, it didn't just run some command and come back. It's actually got its own console prompt here. So let's see if we can do some console commands. ls. We can. It just gives us basically, I think that's probably the same if I typed help. Yep. And we could exit. I'm assuming that would leave. And there it gives us a little bit of description of what each command we have available. So with the wallet, one would expect wallet balance, wallet create, wallet cipher, wallet cipher, claim payment from redemption key. Not exactly sure what that is. Wallet get retrieves the contents of a wallet. Okay, so the contents of a wallet is different than getting the current balance of the wallet, I guess. Wallet key creates a new key set. Not sure what that is either exactly. So let's move on back over here. Obviously, I'm tempted to just play with these commands, so let's just do that. Why not? All right, so wallet balance. That would be the first thing. By creating this thing, oh, I didn't do the vault unseal, so it told me to, but let's ignore it. Wallet balance. What happens if I just type wallet? Nothing. Okay, good. No error though. Basically saying, here's the list, Daddy. Do those. Wallet balance. Identifier. 1. Password. 123. Wallet balance is 0. That could be better, right? So all my wallets are going to be 0, right? But is that 1 identifier and password correct? I'm guessing not. I'm pretty sure not, so maybe we should have some validation on the inputs of that come back and say, give us a little bit more information as to, I'm guessing identifier 1, wallet not found, or something like that. Assuming that the identifier even means the identifier of the wallet. All right, so that's fine. Let's try another one. Wallet get. Identifier 1, 1, 2, 3. Whoa. That gives us an exception, so there's something that we could fix in a minute. I think I recorded this error yesterday as an issue on the site. Granted, we're not following the directions, and it does say, it tells you vault is sealed, but we want to give it some validation errors in a standard validation format, and then probably from the CLI display those on the console in a better than a stack dump type manner. So that might be something we can contribute to. Of course, right now the developers are working on functionality and not trying to break things, right? Of course, they'll get to that. And I guess I did already. But I'm looking for some low-hanging fruit, things that I can help when it comes to the encryption algorithm and the actual crypto parts of it. That's complicated. It takes some thought. Doing some error checking here and test cases for that, I might be able to actually contribute and add value. All right, so there we have that. Now let's play nice and follow the directions. All right, let's go back to the home. I think it said something about user guide. There we go, user guide and command line options. After you successfully followed the instructions and started Cypher, you will see the following. Attention, correct. Ensure you copy and paste your 4 keys displayed above in a safe and secure place. Note this message will only appear once after you run Cypher. Okay, and don't display them on Twitch for the whole world if you're actually going to put things in value. That would not be wise. But since there is nothing of value there at this point, or nor there can be on testnet, then the point is mute. When unsealing the vault, when the text... All right, let's read this, see if I'm crazy. When the text, please type vault unseal to finish unsealing the vault, appears. All right, so again, we can't edit this, but we could make that a backtick and a backtick in Markdown so that we could show that this is what's supposed to appear. All right, but did that even appear ever? Please type vault. I think it did here, although it doesn't say exactly that. Please type vault unsealed to begin unsealing the vault instead of finish unsealing the vault. So if we could do a PR on some documentation, we could make that a little bit better, and maybe even match those up. But again, we're being real picky for something that's on testnet 0 alpha stuff. So, but hopefully it can help, right? Everybody wants to put out quality stuff. At the prompt, key, colon, oh, type vault unseal. All right, let's type it. Better yet, let's not type it. Let's copy and paste it. All right, so down here we are. Vault unseal. I wanted to do it once. And vault key. Copy one of those keys that we just got when we ran it. Paste that in there, and nice. It gives us the asterisk so you wouldn't show your key if it really mattered. And enter vault unsealed. That sounds good. Once the vault has been, missing a has, unsealed, you will see the following message, vault unsealed. All right, creating a wallet. Type wallet.create and press enter. Before we do that, let's break the rules again, ls, and let's type some other command. It's always good to not follow the rules when you're looking for bugs because somebody inevitably will not follow the rules. Wallet get one, blah, blah, blah. And there we go. We can duplicate that. We can duplicate that as well. Might even be able to, might not be as trivial as I think, to bail if you're not in the right state. Maybe we could say, okay, if we're not in the right state, wallet.get doesn't even bother to ask you for identity, right? Because you don't have any to get no matter what anyway. All right, so let's do wallet list. I would think that I would have a default wallet, right? Right? This should definitely say, if I have to do a wallet create first, I don't have a default wallet, then wallet list should tell me you don't have any wallets. It shouldn't give us an error. It should tell us, probably should fail and say to create your first wallet, type wallet create. Right? All right. Now let's follow the directions. Wallet create. And there we go. And it does show your password on the screen. So I don't know, maybe I would have made that a little bit, like warn the guy that, you know, your password's going to be visible. So given that I'm on Twitch, everybody's going to see it anyway, but and given it's not of any value, but it's, you know, this is going to be, I'm assuming with that key, I probably need to unseal the vault and have this and have that. So we might be fine. All right, looks like something I should copy and paste. So I did. So I've got wallet ID now. And perfect. All right, so now, yes, we can do that wallet list. Hey, it gives me an ID. Nice. Creating multiple addresses in your wallet. Do I have any address in my wallet yet? I've got an ID. Let's do wallet get. I only have one. Wallet list shows it to me. Might be able to make that a. I'm thinking also that we're going to validate all of these rules with the command line, and then I would like to push this over to a Blazor WebAssembly wallet that will run all of C# code inside, the actual C# code inside of WebAssembly, either client side or server side. So it would be just like, it's just like running .NET Core on your local machine. It should be running inside of Mono, inside the web browser, which is well, not would be, is extremely cool. Uh, so maybe I can get to that point, but that's going to be a few shows away. All right, paste that identifier in there. So the identifier is shown in plain text when you paste it. It shows us the asterisk. Don't know that that adds any value for us. Might even be worse because you might want to know that identifier, and I don't know that that identifier should be private or not. But we'll learn this stuff as we go. Now I copied and pasted that password, and that gives us some information. Let's take a look at that. Sure looks like JSON to me. So let me add a file into VS Code over here called, what do we call it? Wallet.json, for the lack of a better name. And then paste that string in there. Shift-Alt-F, and it will format it for us. And now we can see, you can't, I can, now we can see what it gives us. So, request ID looks like a GUID that's just generated per request. Good idea. Lease ID, empty, renewable, false, lease duration. Okay, so then the meat of the crux of the matter is data has store keys. So you have an address. All right, so this is going to be your wallet address. All right, given the fact it's a collection, so we can have a collection of wallets or a collection of addresses. I wish this is the epidemic in the crypto world where the wallet has a wallet within a wallet. It's like, what do you name these things, right? So they're calling them like key pairs or something like that. What did he call it? Oh, let's see, what did we call it? Multiple addresses in your wallet. Okay, so the outside thing is the wallet. And all right, so what does wallet.list? Naming things is one of those hard things in computer science. So wallet list now shows me one ID. What is that? Is that the ID of my wallet? And I can create another wallet. So Cipher has many, Cipher being the name of the app, has many wallets, right? And these IDs are the wallets, and then each wallet has many addresses, which an address has each address has an associated private and public key. That's what I infer from this data structure that we were just looking at. Okay. All right, so we might want to do a little documentation on that. Let's see if I can fire up some old school tools. It's actually not old school, it's new, but UML came out a long time ago. Let me fire up a new instance here of empty model with star UML. All right. That's not an empty one. I wanted a new one. File, close. Sure, you can save whatever it did there. Or not. Don't save it. Okay, fine, I don't care. This is the empty one over here, maybe. Nope, looks like the same one to me. Close. Don't save. How hard can it be to open up this stupid thing? Give me a new model. Yeah, there we go, blank model. That's what I want. So what did we have? We've had a few things in here. Cipher. is like the top level. This is the application object. And within that, it had something called a wallet, right? And the wallet had something called an ID. And Cipher could have many of these. So many, so one to many. Could explicitly make that one if we want. So one to many of these wallets, right? And then the wallet had something inside of it called an address. Actually, what did it call it? Let's see. They called data store keys because that actually has 111 relationship with those things. So let's call it store keys. I don't like that name because it doesn't make much sense. But he has one to many of those as well. So they require a wallet. So that would be store keys. And inside this guy, he has what were they called? Public keys? Address, public key, secret key. Address. We don't care what the types are. Whoops. Public key, secret key. All right, and that's a one to many as well, so there could be many of these per wallet. So if it was a one-to-one, why would I care? I could just make more wallets per address. But whatever, this seems to be the model that is there. All right, that gives us that. All right, now go back to the directions. We're making progress here. So we did a wallet get, we did the wallet list. Still not sure what wallet ciphers and keys are. So let's do creating multiple addresses in your wallet. I think we should update the documentation over here to add the wallet get first to show that you can get the information for the wallet that you already have without this. Because I got the feeling that wallet key is going to add another one of these things. Store keys. That's what this is going to do, I'm guessing. Wallet key, press enter. Identifier. Now that's going to need to be the wallet ID that we got from the get above, which is this right here. So I'm going to paste that in, hit enter, and the password should be this, but probably doesn't include that space. Wallet key set added. So wallet list won't change it. We still have one ID. So let's do a wallet get again, and then let's paste the ID. Paste the ID again. This guy, and the password again. Oops. Shoot. ID and password. Let's copy that password out of VS Code. It's going to be a little bit easier. From here. Copy. Paste. All right, so now we got more stuff in that guy. Let's go back over here. Hide that. We don't care about that. Let's go to wallet.json again. So we had a PCRM. I guess we could paste it down here. Compare. PCRM. We only had one before, so I'm going to get rid of all of that. And then Shift Alt F. And now you see, yes, it did add another one of these uh, um, store keys. Key combination. We need a name for this thing. Key, address, address and key. Yeah, need a name for that. Something that we can call that grouping, that object. But anyway, that adds another one of those. Okay, fine. Now, wallet key set added. Find your new added address. Type wallet get, press enter. Enter. Okay, so they've got in brackets here. So this is actually like enter or copy and paste. So this should be like or copy and paste. Your ID. Enter your password, which we did. And it just says address example here. It's like that. But it's giving us back JSON. In PowerShell we could have given back an actual object and then displayed the members of that object. But I think that might be a little overkill for the average user. We wouldn't expect them to be using PowerShell. This should work just fine from any other console, bash or whatever. We wouldn't care. Okay, if you have made transactions, the console will be plagued with the wallet details. Try Control or the Apple Mac thingy plus F and type address. I think he's trying to say Control Find to do a search for the word address, which we would see this. But inside of the console, so maybe this should be like from an editor, because inside a console, Control F. Well, let's see. I'll show you. Control F, address. Ain't gonna do much, right? But from our console, or from our VS Code, Control F address would take you right to the addresses, and we've got two of them here. All right, so that's cool. All right, so now what do we want to do? Sending tangrams. Yeah, well, given the person just created a wallet, I'm almost positive he can't send any tangrams. So maybe should change the order to receiving tangrams first, because won't the wallet balance always be 0? The answer to that is yes. The wallet balance will always be 0. But I do have some tangrams that got sent to me last night by the staff there, which is super cool. I got 28,000 of test nets or something like that. I don't know, a bunch to play with. So anyway, I'm going to use that instance, which I think I have running here. See that 28,000 I received? Cheating, going ahead. We're going to use that to see if we can send to this wallet. See how that works. All right, so sending to TGM. Enter ID this. I got a feeling that's not going to do anything. So this doc definitely needs updated here, because the first thing you need to type in is going to have to be transfer, right? Send is equal to the word transfer, so it should probably just, yeah, well, you either use transfer over here or use send over here. Send and receive, transfer and receive. Yeah, I think I'd probably just change the command to wallet send instead of wallet transfer. But let's try wallet transfer. And then we're going to need our ID from this guy over here, which let's just hit enter here and just wait Let's just hit Control C to kill that command. Oh shoot, that pulls us all the way out of the whole tool. Oh, now I gotta do Vault Unseal again. Yeah, probably need a better way to kill the console as well. Alright, so Vault Unseal and the Vault key for the other one. Tangram that I made yesterday, test wallet. Pick up one of those keys, put in here. Vault unsealed. Okay, so now let's do wallet list and wallet get. No, wallet transfer. And now it wants this ID. Boom. Password, which I should have saved in here from yesterday. Put that in. And 2. So we want to go send some money to this guy. This looks like a good one. Oh, let's copy and paste it out of here. So let's send some to that address. Okay. And we got, what, 28,000 or so. Let's send 1,000. By the way, you can break these down. You don't have to think about it. If your transaction fee is 0, then I can send you one at a time forever if I mess up or whatever. I don't have to, with Bitcoin and so forth, well, it doesn't matter what currency it is. It could be $1. If there's a transaction fee on every time you do it, then it changes the way you think about it. You're like, maybe I double check, so a little bit more. But if it's free, great. All right, memo. Hello, world. Send redemption key to message pool. The default is yes, because the highlighted Y. So if I just hit enter, we're going to get that. If yes, redemption key will be sent to the user and they can do a wallet receive. Okay, let's go with yes, and we will figure out what the no means later. So hit enter, says it's processing a payment. I really don't know. This has got to go to the testnet node, right? I mean, it's the only guy out there. Shows that, what's the green? The green right here says 0. I wonder if that, I don't know what that is. Transaction ID? How much I sent? It didn't work. Sent 1,000. Took 1,000 off, so I'm assuming that that's sent. I don't know what the 0. I don't know what that 0 means in this case, but it looks like it's sent. So let's go over here and do what he said. We can do a wallet receive, which I think that's down here. There are a number of ways to receive TGM message pool, which is the one we told it to send it to through the message pool, or a redemption key. We didn't do that yet, so let's focus on the message pool one. Type wallet receive. I wonder if tab works. It does not. It would be nice if it did. Wallet receive. E-I-V-E. I before E except after C. Except a neighbor and way and things that sound like A and about a million other ones. Wallet receive. And then our identifier again, which we can grab here. And then the password, which is somewhere. Somewhere is the password. Yeah, over here. Tangram notes, password. Yeah, that's it. Lost my screens. And paste that guy in. Wallet receive. So you would need to know which address that you had them send it to. I'm guessing if you just just said receive from all, if somebody sent me something I'd like to know, right? But is the transaction done until I receive it? That would be a good question. I would say it's not done until I receive it, but can it be reversed until I receive it? Nonetheless, if I'm taking my, oh, secret key cannot be null. Did I double click or something? Because I don't remember putting in a secret key. Wallet receive. Identifier. Password. Address. Secret key cannot be null. Parameter name. SK. Didn't ask me for a secret key, did it? Let's see, wallet list. Okay, so maybe when it crashed, let's try exit. Let's go back into this guy. This is cipher 2. Alright, so let's do the vault. Unseal. Gonna use one of my vault keys. Anybody curious why they give us 4 vault keys? I guess maybe you could give them to like different people and then you would know who opened the vault or something. I'm not sure. Alright, so there's that. Now let's do wallet list. Now we've got one. So there's some sort of state we were in that was not a good state. Alright, now let's try wallet receive again. And the identifier of the wallet. Oops, this doesn't automatically copy. I actually have to hit the button. Alright, so there's the identifier of the wallet. So we've got that. And now I need the password. Okay, and now we need the address, which is on this page. Copy. I'm going to throw it over on this page too for simplicity purposes next time. Paste, and let's hope that it works this time. Hey, so we received 1,000 tangrams. Okay, so that worked. Timing on that was pretty daggone quick, really. It was more of a, we got in a weird state there. So there's a bug someplace underneath. But I mean, the time to receive it wasn't long, and the time to send it wasn't long. More time involved in entering your IDs, your passwords, and your addresses. So from a web application, you could keep those in state. Actually, from the console application, given the fact that we were in our own app, we could keep those in state as well. There might be some security concerns as to why you're typing in your ID, password, and so forth every time. Yet, adoption has to have an excellent user experience as well as be secure. So you can't sacrifice one for the other either way. So we need to come up with some way to be secure and also make that easier. Nobody wants to type their password in 100 times. On a phone, it might be easy because you could just throw in a fingerprint, right? And it could populate for you. But nonetheless, we did send and we did receive, so that's good. Now, what do we do? What do we do next? We sent, we received, and now we can do wallet transactions. Transactions. And we want that ID again. I would like a tab right here that just cycled through them all for me. And then that password again. Okay, and you get to see the transaction. There's the one that just went through. That we received some money. So we saw the send from my previous wallet from yesterday and the receive on this side as well. Let's go take a quick look again at some documentation. Oh, wallet balance, enter an ID and a password. Yeah, so now it should just show us the balance. If we do that, wallet balance. This is pretty much the basics of a wallet. And the password again. And there's our 1,000. There is our 1,000. Okay. So that's the basics of that. We're missing one thing. And that was that if we answered no up here. So let's go try that. So what did we do? We wanted to send wallet transfer. We're going to use that ID he has. And the password for this guy, which I gotta go look over here. For that, Tangram test wallet password. Copy. Paste. Gonna send it to the same guy we sent it to before. And we're gonna send him, so that we can distinguish the transactions, a different amount. So we're going to be cheap this time. We're going to send them 999 of these guys. Okay, this is going to be, what was it? What did they call it? Sending Tangram redemption key to the message pool. Select if you want to send redemption key to the message pool. The answer is no. Okay, so this is going to be what? Redemption file. Just use that as our memo. Now we're going to say no. Send a redemption key to message pool. No. Okay, so there's an X that came back. So the O was green when it did it before with a 0 in it. Not sure what that meant. Was green good? It all went. X means fail? Or I don't know what those O and X mean. So we should add some docs for that. Alright, so now what did I do? If I said no, to save the redemption key to a file, such as this, there would be two possible options. Save redemption key to a file, recommended. If no, okay, such as this. You can then drop the file RD key anywhere online to be picked up by the receiver. Copy redemption key from console. Am I missing something here? I did the wallet transfer. I said the address. I put in. I gave it a memo. Send redemption key to the message pool. I said no, and I just got an X that said available 0. Spend 99990. Why? Yet above, I had 27,000 still, right? So I've done it again. Notice I've got permission denied. I'm curious that if I go switching back and forth between two wallets, that if there's some flag someplace in the vault that says only going to be used by one guy. So notice we're definitely in a we're in a we're in a different state here. Yeah, so wallet list won't even list the items. So I guess I exit and run again. All right, so I've duplicated a bug there a couple times, not exactly sure of the cause yet. So vault, what, unseal. And one of those vault keys, and this is the first Tangram wallet, so I need one of those keys. And now my vault's unsealed. Now wallet list. Yeah, so I'm guessing then that the vault gets sealed again by somebody else accessing the thing. I'm not 100% sure, but just a guess. All right, so now I wanted to do a wallet transfer, is what we were in, right? And tried to transfer identifier of this particular wallet. It's going to be that guy right there. Enter. And the password of that wallet. And the address we want to send it to. Wanted to send it to the same guy we did before, which is that. And we wanted to send $9.99. And this is going to be redemption key, just redemption file. Fine. No. Alright, it's doing more than it did last time. Send redemption key to message pool. No. Okay, options. Save redemption key to a file. Send redemption key to file 1. Copy redemption key from console 2. But it's not asking me to enter anything yet. It's still saying sending receiver coin. But is it really? Or is it asking me to enter the number 1? I think it's asking me to enter the number 1, which is not readily apparent from that. 1, say redemption key to a file, recommended. So let's do 1. It's not doing anything. Okay, so I hit enter. And I think I ended up with 2, option 2, because, well, let's see, ls. Oh, we can't ls because where are we? All right, well, let's do a control tab to where we actually are. Open up another terminal, go to where we are, GitHub, and then Tangram, Cipher 2, bin, release, netcore, publish. And what's it supposed to save it as? RD key, ls star.rd key. I don't see any RD keys in here, so where would it have saved it? Okay, so it looks like it says it's going to save it, yeah, to the published directory, something called redeem. So where it was trying to save it to, but that didn't happen. All right, so I guess we're into this. Oh wait, I was sending it from Cipher 1, I'm in Cipher 2. My bad. So we can go back. this guy. Release. Yep. Okay, so that core app change. Oh, it was in publish, wasn't it? What the heck's in there? Anything? Nothing. How is that the case? How is that possible? Maybe it's running out of debug mode? Where am I? Before I went into that thing. Oh, I'm in the fork. Silly me. My bad. One more time. Release. There. All right. Now let's see. Did we get anything as the redemption? We did not. It would have been right here. All right. So I got nothing in there. Got nothing in there like we expected. All right. But what we do have is this thing here, so we can copy this from the screen, which I think is the option 2. Copy and paste the redemption key. Copy redemption key from console. Okay, save redemption key in a text file. Let's try that. Let's go back to our items here. Tangram 1. Let's add a new redemption key.txt. Paste. Okay, save that. So we saved it as a text file. Save the redemption key in a text file. Send redemption key to receiver through any channel. And then we can receive this redemption key from this wallet cipher, which we talked about earlier. All right, now from this other wallet, we're over here. We're going to say, first we're going to say wallet list, and I think it's going to fail. And it does. So I need to exit, rerun, and then do unseal again. So it's something to do with that seal, I'm guessing, is like a changing some variable that locks it out on the other one. Vault, unseal. Vault key. Vault key. I have to pull that up from our notes. The vault key. One of these guys. Copy. Paste. Vault is unsealed. Now we can do wallet list. We've got a wallet. Now we can do wallet cipher. And identifier is going to be the only one we have. And the password is going to be our password. And our address is going to be the same place we sent it to. Whoops. This one. And then we're going to say select local file. Yep. File path is going to be the path of this redemption key thing. Copy path. Should do it. And previous 1,000 received 999, available 1,999. All right, so it looks like we were able to send and receive. So the basics of a wallet work. There's a handful of bugs or things that could make the user experience better, even from a console experience. But the basics seem to have done what you would expect from a wallet. So I call that a win. Right now, we're on about to hour 2, and the hour 2 is, what's this code look like? We wrote it, we cloned it, we downloaded it. Now we're going to try to give it a shot. I've got some messages over here. But not relative in Twitch right now. Tangram. All right, so next task. We want to pull open this code. Actually, I think I've got the cipher open already. Here we go. Now let's see, how well does that show up? I think the properties object is going to be covered by the chat window, but that's okay. That's okay, because we don't care about that at the moment. I'm down over here on the left side where the output and errors would show up, so we can see code here pretty well. All right, so let's take a look. This is the Solution Explorer. Actually, I'm going to just get rid of this properties altogether. Although that did help me. Yeah, crap. I'll just pin it back and move it down to where it aligns about where that chat box is. So I know that where you can see and where you can't. All right, so cipher, this is what we've got. Brand new, taking a look at the code. We've got a README in here, which I'm assuming is the same README that we saw, yep, from the GitHub repo. All right, now let's take a look. What else do we have here? So we've got a bunch of exes. This is interesting. So we've got Tor exe. Tor looks like generate certificate in here. Tor must require a license file. So the Tor project requires a license file. Okay, I guess. I don't know what license it is, but okay, it's there. Zlib, this is just like a standard encryption, or not encryption, but compression library, I think. All right, so we got a bunch of stuff here. libwin, this is the threading DLL. These are outside, so I don't know what the code is for these. If this is private code that's just shipped as DLLs right now. I'm guessing that's what's going on. This is the code behind as well that's written by Tangram developers. I'm guessing that's what these are, not just dependencies. libssp, libgcc. Well, that's libgcc is a C++ compiler or something, right? I don't know. I guess we could probably get ping pong to answer plenty of questions. All right, so app settings. Let's take a look at that. So this will typically tell you what our configurations are. All right, so we've got a vault configuration in there, num secret shares, no idea what they all are, but that's probably the HashiCorp. This is probably configuring the HashiCorp stuff. Onion's going to be the configuration for the Tor Onion router. API gateway, so this also looks like the Onion router information. Network, this is going to be the network for the Tangram, would be my guess. And I'm saying guessing because I am not one of the core developers. And this is the first time I've seen this file myself. All right, so console.log is your normal Windows logging taking place. Log level default is none. All right, so, this is the console logging settings, and this is the general logging settings. Right there, so nothing too surprising in there. Travis.yaml, get ignore, get igneps. Travis is your CI/CD that they're using. All right, so what code in here can we actually help with? So we've got this helper folder, which always makes me pause. Let's hope they're not a bunch of static helper classes. Here you see the British influence because we got an S on math. And this probably is a static helper class, which would be fine because this math is like the the poster child for actual helpers. All right, so what do we look like? We're doing some big integer stuff. So this is just helpers. Helper things, HTTP, libsodium. Sounds salty. Cryptography, key pairs, padding. All right, let's ignore that. Let's go look at this application layer. What we'd like to get to is where in the heck is that environment created and what's parsing our commands? Because we saw some errors in there that maybe we can actually fix. HTTP XY cipher by Tangram. Okay, so at least we know we're in the right source. HTTP XY. HTTP XY. What's that guy? Let's see if we can F12 into that and see. I'm assuming that that's also that HTTPXY doesn't do much, does it? So what you would call that is just a marker. It's a marker interface. So that you can say, does this implement the interface? Even though there's absolutely nothing to implement, the runtime type information will keep track of the fact that you implemented that interface here. So it's a background service that does implement this HTTPXY. So you could look for all things that implement that interface, whatever. It's called a marker interface. Private class startup. Where are we? What are we in? What method am I in? We don't know. Okay, so this is HTTPXY that has this in it. It's interesting that they have a private startup inside this. Here's the constructor. We have a startup class. Which startups, you know, in your .NET Core is going to be the ones that configure your dependency injection container as a rule, which is what they're doing here with configure services. Let's see what they use. Add MVC, add Swagger gen. So he's generating some backend API for using Swagger, obviously. Tangram wallet REST API. Yep. Version 1 wallet API. HTTPS tangrams.io legal. All right. Add cores across cross-site origins. And it's basically wide open at this point, which is kind of interesting because Cores is a website thing and this is a CLI app. But notice it says HTTPXY. So he's running an HTTP server inside the client thing, and that's what's going to do. Maybe this is what is this HTTP? Is this a HTTP client? All right, you guys are recognizing that I really don't know this code base, so this was just an investigation here. Anyway, he's setting up cores to be wide open for whatever this HTTP thing is. And we've got registrations for the items that they have. These are the services that they're using. An actor service, a wallet service, an onion service, a coin service. Oh, one was the iOnion service client, one's the iOnion service, iVault service client, and iVault service. Okay, so these are they're going to be their interfaces to the outside thing. This Vault service and these two guys here are probably wrappers around the Vault stuff, the HashiCorp thing. Onion service and Onion service client are wrappers around the Tor stuff. So my guess is the ones that are really concerned here are Actor, Wallet, and Coin service. Add new service descriptor. Okay, so he's defining something to do specifically with this console. Logger, setting up a log file. Add service descriptor, logger. Oh, yeah, configuring the logger there as well. Add options. Okay, so use static files, use cores. Actually, it's running a web server in behind this thing with the whole web API and all. All right. REST API section. Okay, so we got a little bit of an idea here of what's going on in this. Here, your iWeb host builder. This is your .NET Core, which creates the web host itself. And that's where he's using his startup. Normally, these things would be in different files, but because this is running, what is this running? This is running as a single project. That he's starting up a web server inside this guy, inside this baby, using the same thing that would be in a web application. So it's a console app running the web server to me, and we're using 5001. So when we run this thing, I'm guessing that port is available. So, and you see the name controllers here, so this looks like a controller. Let's go look at the home controller and see what inputs do we have. So we've got something that's going to go out to this Swagger endpoint. So if we're running this, are we still running it someplace? We are. Let's pull up a browser. Just see if we can ping wherever the heck that thing looks like it's running. Where was it running? 5001? Was it 5001? 5001, I want to say, but yeah, right there. So let's see if that's live. And if that port is fixed, then that would explain why switching back and forth doesn't work, because it's talking to this, you just broke the port. But I would think the second instance would fail because it would say port already in use or something. So I don't know what this is going to do and if we can even hit it or not. Doesn't look like it hits anything. Was it HTTPS? Doesn't look like it hits anything. Okay, but that sure looks like it's use AI and system intelligence to get smarter suggestions about your code, including your own custom code. Yeah, I know. And that's pretty nice, but I don't care right now. All right, so we are building a web host, running a web server somewhere in here, hidden. We have a home controller which redirects to the Swagger, and then we have a wallet controller which I'm assuming does something. How many endpoints do we have on the wallet controller? All right, we got create wallet here. Now, mind you, they put all this in one file and they call it all one controller. But the truth of the matter is all of these endpoints are entirely not related. So this method, these HTTP post methods will never call, this method will never call this method. I frankly prefer one endpoint per controller. I don't even like the name controller for that matter, but yeah, they don't, there's no correlation between them. The only thing that's shared would be the constructor. So here we need an actor service, a wallet service, an iVault service. So you'll see here that this method here only uses a wallet service. Seems to me like. So if this was a separate endpoint, you would only be injecting this. You wouldn't be injecting this and this. So those two things get instantiated or injected, at a minimum injected. I don't know what the scope on them. I think they're probably all singletons. But they would get injected for every one of these places regardless. The constructor gets called for the controller regardless of the endpoint. But this is where we're seeing some of these babies happen. All right, and what happens? What are they sending? So they're actually populating a form. So turning this into a Blazor app might not be that hard. Looks like it's nearly already a Blazor app, right? Or the backend server is. All right, so create wallet address, there's that. Wallet balance, create wallet. So these are effectively the endpoints for, yeah, let's look at that vault unseal. What does he actually do? He goes out and calls the service, and if it's okay, returns back an OK object from body, shared DTO, not shared, shard DTO. What's in that? Let's see, the vault, we only had a key, right? So is it a key or is it a shard? You tell me. Why do we name it two different things? All right. Okay. So that endpoint does that, and he's going to go out to this service, which takes the unseal, which calls key. See, it's a shard, but we name it a key. Which is it? A shard or a key? And if it was a shard here, why didn't we name it shard here? I know I'm pedantic, but and if it's not a shard, yeah, it'd be kind of weird. If it's shard here, then it'd be shard.shard. So it's actually a collection of things. Let's see, what is it? Well, not really. It's a shard. It's a class that contains a method with a single value called shard. All right, so and then he takes it to a secure key in the unseal method. Let's go look at unseal. So unseal is probably going to be, if we control F12, whoops, complained, but it took me where I wanted to go, to here. And using a var, C#8, by the way, coming soon, we won't have to do these brackets on that using clause, which would be nice. If s equals null and at ampersand string that is null or empty, then argument null exceptions. This here can be replaced with our Dallas's guard clauses, which would be also a little bit nice. Also might be able to be replaced in C#8 simply by turning on the new feature with the nullable reference types. But that's a bigger task than one might think. All right, so var response equals await put as JSON async. So he calls out to yet another site. I wonder what put as JSON async, because that's, you notice that's a method not on an HTTP request. So where does where does that come from? Base URI, so they're going to build the HTTP client here. Newing it up here, new everywhere. And what is this? This is a Vault Service client. So I would argue that these things are all dependencies. These Vault Service clients, these things are dependencies, and I would say it's not a static class. Then those should be injected into the Vault Service client. And you could probably create your own Vault HTTP client that preset some of those values. Whoops. Let's go back. There we go. Yeah, so we could probably clean that up a little bit, make it a little bit easier. That automatically added. So so this is a new HTTP client, and they're adding things to it here. I don't know what RT stands for. Okay, auth token. Yeah, okay, so you add some stuff to it, but I guess we're talking to the auth server. So who's it go talk to? What's the URI for that thing? Endpoint. Base URI, that's the one I'm curious about. And I get the base URI from the endpoint. Who called this guy? So I'm not exactly sure what the endpoint, what that, so there's the object and the request URI here, backslash v1 slash sys slash policy dot service policy. All right, but where's the URL? I mean, that's only the path. What's the host of this thing? This gives me a endpoint, but doesn't tell me the host. I could put a breakpoint on that if we want later. All right, so anyway, that's how he's managing the services. So there's the Vault service. That all works out through that. All right, I don't know what these models are. Oh, these are the request response probably for each one. So that's nice. That's broken out. So Vault policy create request, and there's probably a Vault policy response maybe. Or maybe you don't get one back for that. Token create. So here's a token create request. All right. This looks nice. So we've got a collection. Not sure why they're lowercase named. In C# in JavaScript you would, but in C# we typically don't. Maybe it's because of serialization, but we can put a generic rule to camel case when we deserialize for things, but I digress. And here's the response that would come back. So the Vault token create response. Oh, there's actually a couple of them. Auth and Vault token create response. Notice that these come back as objects, generic objects. So you're losing some strongly typedness here. I'm just talking out loud. There's probably good reasons for all of these things, so I'm not questioning the developers. Well, actually, I'm questioning it because I don't know the reasonings, but I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just talking out loud. I ask those questions when I go through these things. Maybe there's places I can help. We'll see. All right. So anyway, there's your Vault. I like the way that that's broken up into these items, and it's basically just sending the thing back and forth, send the create, send the response. It's pretty nice little simple pattern, and I'm assuming this onion thing ain't far off. Isn't far off from that. Onion client service. It's probably just configuring the thing, but I'd be surprised. Is there an HTTP request in here too? I don't know how they configure, how they talk to the local onion stuff. I've never used that from. I've used the Tor network, but I just install it and run it on the outside. I've never used it inside my code actually. So this could be interesting to learn here. All right, now we've got some commands someplace, right? Here they are inside the controller, but I'm guessing this one that calls them commands up here is going to be a nice little separation. This is the generic command, I'm guessing. Yep, so an implement I command, which I'm guessing, so this is the mediator pattern, which I use daily. I love Jimmy Bogart's mediator. I think Ping Pong didn't know about Jimmy Bogart's mediator when he started this, or he might actually even use it here. Would be something I would for sure consider, because mediator is on like version 7 now, so it's pretty mature for sure. And you get pipelines and middleware and all that stuff. So there's your base command, and then I'm guessing, I don't know what command service is. That might be, no, I don't know what it is. Command service. Oh, it's the collection of all the commands. I don't quite understand what's going on there for sure. All right, but anyway, wallet. So let's see if we could possibly, we're at an hour and a half in right now. Which one was it? The wallet get? Wallet list actually crashes if you haven't unsealed the thing yet. So there's a typo or a null check that's missing in here someplace. All right, so what does this do? If keys does not equal null for each var key and keys, trim the slash and console.writeLine. Okay, all right, so we do have some console.writelines in here inside the command. So is this the, okay, so the execute is how he executes his commands. Is there something called a command? Is this a handler? So this is the handler for all intents and purposes. This is the wallet list command, right? Oh, so the command, the request and the handler. Nope. It's a command, but there's no command object. There's no command object. This is parameterless. So let's take a look at one that says it needs a parameter to see how he does that. Task execute. Public override async. So it does the same thing here, but where the heck is the properties coming in? So it's showing you wallet of balance, get current wallet balance. This command descriptor attributes doing something. This is how he's defining the commands. Console apps are not as easy to write as what people think they are, actually. But Microsoft is working on a new, I don't know what version it's on now. Maybe it's further. I know it's been updated a bazillion times since my console template was created. But they're working on a new standard for building console apps that gives us dependency injection, just like we're used to in .NET Core. And I would tell you where it was at, but if you went and looked at my time warp templates, you would see a console template that we use it in, although the library's in alpha, and I think you even actually modify the NuGet config so that you can get that version. But I don't know where it's at right at the moment, but it's surely going to be getting close to, it's probably going to be targeted for .NET Core 3 release, would be my guess, which is coming in September. So next month, June, should have, this is per Dan Roth, not gospel, but his best guess. June, there's going to be another preview, which we're going to be on preview 6. And then in July, there will be another preview 7, which will probably be called RC1. August is going to be RC2. And September is most likely going to be .NET Core 3, which is going to be really, really nice. I know they've announced the directions for .NET Core 5 already, because we're skipping 4 to avoid confusion with the full .NET framework, 4.6, whatever we're on right now, 7, 8, I don't know. But anyway, we're skipping the 4 series, so .NET Core is going to go to 5, and I think it's just going to be called .NET 5. It's not going to be called .NET Core 5. Anyway, it's going to be cross-platform, including, we're already cross-platform with Windows, Linux, and Mac, but it's going to be cross-platform Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS, or iPhone. So that's some big news. But that's way down the road. That's probably 2021, I'm guessing, before that comes to life. Whereas .NET Core is September of this year. .NET Core 3. All right, so we've got an iWallet service. I'm not exactly sure what runs through these commands. Like I said, I don't know where the properties came from. Get password as secure string right here. Oh, he pulls in right inside the executor. All right, so every command, and the command is only found by this command descriptor. Ah, I get it. And then through this, he prompts right here to get his variables. Okay, so that ties you to the console pretty tightly. That ties the console pretty tightly. So if I'm going to refactor for the web, I need to make an object in, object out. Well, I don't need to, but the way I would do it would be object in, object out, all of these commands, and whether you filled out that command through a web form or console, I don't care. So we'd modify that in the console app itself first to follow that pattern, which would mean we have to abstract out the way you get the information into a separate handler to populate and build your objects. So basically the console part just populates and builds objects, and then you send that object down the pipeline and find out who can execute it that actually does the work. So none of this prompt would be here, none of that prompt would be there, none of these console things. You would abstract out the console as well to a response object, right? So you would build the response object, which would contain basically the balance, and then on the one that's handling the console could display it through a console output. The one handling the web page would obviously dump that to a HTML form or screen. All right, so and foreground and background color, we wouldn't care. So yeah, all right. So what really happens here is you call a wallet service to get the available balance. So I'm guessing then the wallet service is where this code is. All right, but when we did the list, where are we on? Wallet list. All right, I'm from this, what directory am I in? Go down here, these properties that you guys can't see. I can see what directory I'm in. Cipher fork. Okay, so I'm in the fork. That's good. All right, so if I'm there, if I run this guy in here, it should be. I better get out over here so I don't have two instances of this thing running. Let's exit that guy and exit this guy. All right, now let's try running a command from inside the debugger. We're an hour and a half in. We figured out the thing works. We can send stuff back and forth basically, and we found a few bugs that we might be able to fix. We got some null check that we want to deal with. So we're not doing too bad. All right, now fire it up inside the debugger. This is actually the first time I'm going to run this inside the debugger, and it will be interesting because I have no idea what this is going to look like inside the .NET Core. Oh, it's going to be in the .NET Core screen, so I won't have all my PowerShell or Commander features of highlight and copy and paste. That could be painful. Yeah, and trust me, there's a ton I don't know about what's going on in this app. Some people are extremely good at dropping into other people's code and figuring out what's going on. And as you could tell, there were some places I could figure it out, and some places I'm like, going to take more time. All right, so the screen comes up over here on the left. Let's bring this over here. And this is interesting. Oh, it's going to pull up a whole new wallet because I'm going to be running in debug, right? So now I got to copy this stuff again. Let's create another screen. As I'm going to be running in debug mode, nothing is going to exist there. That's okay. That's where we wanted to debug this issue anyhow. All right, so let's build another one. Sheesh. Move this out of the way. You guys don't need to see me do this again for the 10th time. There's another file, and this is going to be Tangram. What do I need to do? I need to be cipher fork debug. So basically the path where this thing is. Markdown folder, and I need to copy and paste these. And like I said, Now, I don't have all the cool features. I think if I hit enter, that copy them? And the answer is yes, it did. Okay, so now I got a new wallet, but I think this is where I can do the I can regenerate the air. Test Explorer we can close. I don't know why I pulled it out of that thing. All right, so now wallet list, is that the one we're setting on? Wallet list, we are. So if I type in wallet list, let's see if we get to my breakpoint. And I did. Yay! Yay, yay, yay. All right, now wallet service, wallet list. Well, let's step over. I think it's going to fail right there. It did. All right, so we've at least confirmed where the air is. We should be able to up arrow and run it again. And this time let's step in to this guy. And let's see what the exception is. Vault service client. I bet's null. I'd be wrong. It's not null. All right, so data null. The exception happens in the vault service client. All right, run it again. Debugging, step by step. All right, maybe I should have music as opposed to me singing. Wallet list. Why isn't it going anywhere? There, it did finally. It's a little bit odd. Okay, and now we're going to go into that guy. We're going to go into this guy. And this is get list async of path. The path is wallet slash and var service token, get service token async. Let's see. Well, that passed. Service token something. Client token looks like it has something. Vault client settings equals new vault client settings. That doesn't look like that should fail. V vault client equals vault client settings. All right, one of these guys is null, right? VC, VC1, secrets, key value, V1. I guess I'm wrong there too. They're not null. Path is wallets. Okay, so we're going to F11 into that guy. Your step into request resulted in an automatic step over a property. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, so we stepped into something, and that's where the exception's at. Read secret pass async. All right, let's put a breakpoint here. Look at our breakpoints. 193. We don't care about these other two anymore. Actually, delete the other two for all I care. And then go back to this guy, up arrow, hit enter. And now we're there again. Read secret pass async. Where is that? F1. Vault sharp. So we're in vault sharp. All right. And that's where the thing happens. All right, but the trick of it is, so we haven't unsealed the vault yet. Right? That's where's our call stack? All right, so we had a new vault client, vault v1 secrets. Let's inspect this thing. What the heck does that, what does all that mean? VC is the vault client. Locals. Give me this VC. So VC is the vault client. Right? And V1 is a vault client V1, which has auth, secrets, and system on it. Then we go into secrets. Secrets is a secrets engine provider. Secrets engine provider. So this vault actually has, good God, look at that. Every cloud provider on the planet looks like AWS, Azure Directory, Azure Console, Cubbyhole, Database, Google Cloud. Look at all that stuff. Nomad. Who the heck is Nomad? Don't know that one. Probably should. PKI, RabbitMQ, SSH. Okay, so there's a bunch of secrets that could be in this thing. And then he's asking me for key value. Okay, so this is key value secrets engine provider. All right, and then we've got value 1 and value 2. Oh, so this is using polymath? Something to do with polymath? I've heard of them. Crypto world, right? But I don't know what the heck it means. So V1 is what's in there, and then polymath has some methods on it, right? Which says vault client settings, vault sharp.vault client settings. So I was hoping that I could help fix this little null exception, right? Real quick. But you notice that we're in 3 levels deep already, and it's somebody else's library that we're passing this thing into. So there's some other status that we need to be able to check for prior to accessing this thing. And I don't see what that status is. But if we look for the vault, what is it, unseal? Maybe something tells us that the vault's unsealed, so we could do some validation early on that tells us that. So here's vault settings. Vault service timeout, vault service URI with port. So do we have some service listening out there on that guy? On 8200, I wonder. Throw it in a browser, see if anybody's listening. At the default get position. 404 page not found, but that doesn't mean nobody's listening because they actually were listening, right? And they gave us back a 404, so that's interesting. Okay. Vault service timeout null. So vault, oh, client token, vault client settings. This is just creating the vault client. We have a new vault client here, but then you want to do something with that vault client, right? And it's the polymath. Which is polymath HashiCorp? That's the one behind polymath, maybe. I don't know. Myru. Let's see. HashiCorp. HashiCorp is just, oh, that's how I know these guys. This is from like system stuff. Oh yeah. So managing cloud systems. And that's why you saw, oh yeah, when I was playing with Terraform the other day. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ross was, yeah, he would have told me that. Okay. Anyway, so now I don't know, because Polymath and HashiCorp are not the same. Polymath is definitely a crypto company. And I've been on their, or I was on their Discord channel, except for the fact that it's just got so much noise going that I needed to work. Access to 2 billion unbanked. Yeah, polymath, but what's it got to do with the code we're working on, right? I don't know the answer to that. All right, so we're getting an all exception somewhere inside this that actually causes the failure. Polymath which of course that's what the stack told us every time we've run through it, right? I could have just started there. Make request async. But what does it tell us? Error performing token check. Vault is sealed. That's great. So why do I pass it down and then throw an exception? How can I tell if the vault is unsealed or not? So let's go look for the command in the vault that says unseal and see if we can determine what it does. What does it set? It's going to be in here, and this is going to be an interface, so we're going to see the implementation of that. Control F12, and then we're going to go into usings and say unseal, check the response, and all he does is say put as JSON asyncs vault unseal request to v1 sys unseal, because that's the URL that they send to that service that's listening on some port. And if it's not sealed, meaning it's unsealed, and we're not skipping the print statements, then it's going to say vault unsealed. So that means this basically response comes back as unsealed. But that's it. We don't store that state. Don't store that state anywhere. And see, the fact that the console, in our console app, we go into this, it's not like it runs the command and quits, right? So it's sitting there, well, over here, at this Tangram $sign. So we're still in that environment. So we have state. We have state being maintained here. So the instance of this object didn't change, right? And what is this object on? What is this class? Vault unseal. Is that where I am? Vault service client. So the vault service client, I mean, my first intention in thinking would be just throw a property on there. It says is sealed or not. Default to false and set it to true when this thing happens, right? So you could do in here, this has got to be the most annoying thing. Change or not allow while code is running. When I want to modify my code, I probably will always, about 99% always, at least, supersede the fact that I'm running, and I actually really want to change my code. So if I came in here and I just said is sealed equals false, right? If I did that, declare a variable for me, generate a property, vault client is sealed. Man, the system just went super slow. F12. All right, so there's our property we've got in there. Getter and a private setter. Yep, that makes good sense. And then when the guy tries to do something on the wallet list, could we see if the vault service client is sealed or not? But matter of fact, though, aren't we just creating a new stinking vault client over there? So where does the sealed happen? On the vault itself or in the client? Is each client sealed and unsealed, or is the vault itself opened? Not exactly sure. But we're learning here. We're learning here. And overall, my evaluation would be this code base is pretty clean, right? As far as this command separation goes, we can actually read it and figure out what the heck is going on. Of course, every developer on the planet has a different view of how things would be laid out. That's just humans, right? Myself included. I wouldn't do it all quite this way. But but I can understand it. So that's a big plus. All right, so continue here to look at this vault sealed. We didn't break any code by adding a property and setting it. So let's go back to the wallet list command. This guy here, does he have access to this thing? So the wallet service, it's way inside that, isn't it? It's where's my view debug? Was it Control Shift B or something like that? Windows, breakpoints, Control DB. Yeah. This guy. So what is he? He's back in the Vault Service client. Get list async. And who calls him? Wallet service. Await Vault service. List the wallets available. What's the other one? Oh, just the interface. Okay. Okay, so I'm in here. This guy is inside the Vault Service client himself. But this is the Vault client that he just created. Yeah, all right. Run it again. The fact that I'm newing up a Vault client means I don't have the same Vault client. So if I stuck that is unsealed on the Vault client, then this is a new one. So it's obviously not going to be unsealed ever, even if I did run the unseal command. So that won't work the way it's currently laid out. Right? So ironically, that didn't hit there the first time. That's kind of weird too. Second time, it did. So Vault Service Client here is sealed as false. Right? Because it's the default value, and the default really should be true. Right? Where did I set that thing? F12. Ah, shoot. Vault Service Client is sealed. Control Find is sealed. This guy right here. Because it's a Boolean, it's going to be auto default. There, we can set the default to true. Of course, we have to kill it. And run it again. And looks like we're about out of time on this. So, quite interesting piece of code. It works. It runs. There's definitely places that we can make improvements. Every piece of software I've ever written, I could always come back and improve. Lots to learn. Cool things going on here for sure. So next week, thinking about doing this on a weekly basis. I was supposed to be on Wednesdays, but yesterday I'm new to Twitch and I messed up some things, so we started over again. Given my massive number of followers, which is none, I don't think anybody's going to complain. But in order to get a follower, you got to have content. So here we are starting, and I wanted to start with something that was interesting to me, and Tangram is it. So anyway, thanks for watching this. I'll push this up to YouTube. And if nobody's watching it, you won't know I'm talking to myself. All right. Thank you very much. And I guess we're going to call it for the day. See you next week. I was going to say it's going to be on Wednesdays. It happens to be on Thursday today, but normally it's going to be crypto code is going to be on Wednesdays. The rest of the week, if I do go on Twitch, it will probably be on Blazor. All right, thanks. Have a good day.